Hello. Today we will simplify numerical expressions that do not involve exponents with 1 and 2 levels of grouping using order of operations. What are numerical expressions? Numerical expressions are math sentences with numbers and operations but no equal signs. Numerical expressions can include 2 levels of grouping. One level of grouping will have parentheses around it. The 2 levels of grouping will have an inner set of parentheses and surrounded by brackets. What are order of operations? Order of operations are rules we use to follow to simplify, evaluate, or solve numerical expressions. We use the acronym PEMDAS, or also known as Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. The P is for parentheses or brackets. The E is for exponents. The M is for multiplication. The D is for division. And when you have multiplication and division on the same line, you perform the operations from left to right. So you start with the operation that's furthest to the left, solve it, and then move on to the next one. A is for addition, S is for subtraction, and just like multiplication and division, when you have addition and subtraction on the same line, same step, you perform the operations from left to right. Order of operations are rules we use or follow to simplify numerical expressions. Below you will see some symbols to be looking for. Now, when you see parentheses, you will see something like this, or brackets similar to this. Exponents are the little numbers on top of the numbers or letters. Multiplication and division symbols, you've seen those before. Here are some examples. And of course, you've seen addition and subtraction symbols. The operations are here. Why do we use order of operations? We use order of operations to simplify, solve, or evaluate the numerical expressions. The goal or objective is to simplify the expression down to one value by eliminating the operations. We follow PEMDAS, or order of operations, so we all derive to the same answer or value. Now let's begin, and we'll solve a few examples. We will simplify using the order of operations. As you can see, I have 4 examples that I'm going to solve with you today. If you look towards the left, there's 2 examples, and those 2 examples only have 1 level of grouping. If you look to the right, the 2 examples on the right include up to 2 levels of grouping. So before I begin, I like to write PEMDAS. And this helps me remember what step or what operation to perform next or to solve next. So P is for parentheses. So I'm going to circle 3 times 2, which is 6. And then I'm going to bring everything down from left to right. Once I bring everything down, I see there's no more parentheses, so I cross out the P. E is for exponents, so I can cross it out because there's no exponents. M is for multiplication. I do not see any multiplication symbols, so I can cross it out. D is for division. I don't see division, but I do see addition and subtraction. And when you see addition and subtraction, you perform the operations from left to right. So first I need to subtract 10 minus 6 because the subtraction symbol appears first. It's on the left. So 10 minus 6 is 4. I bring down the addition symbol in the 5. And then I add 4 plus 5 is 9. And that would be my answer. Now I'm going to move on to the second example. I'm going to write PEMDAS, and then I will move on and begin solving it. So P is for parentheses. I do see parentheses, so I'm going to circle it. 7 times 2 is 14. I bring down the subtraction sign, the 2, multiplication, and the 2. I can cross out the P because there's no more parentheses. There is no exponent, so I cross out the E. I do see multiplication, so I'm going to circle 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then I'm going to bring the 14 subtraction symbol down. I can cross out the M. There's no division, there's no addition, but there is subtraction. So 14 minus 4 is 10. And we're ready to move on to the next two examples that involve two levels of grouping. So I'm going to go ahead and write PEMDAS. And move on to my third example. If you notice, you see the inner parentheses and then the brackets. You must perform or simplify the inner set of parentheses before you can do anything with the brackets. So 4 times 2 is 8. Now once again, it's very important to remember you work left to right and you bring everything down. Now to eliminate the brackets, I need to perform the operation inside the brackets. So 9 plus 8 is 17. And then I bring everything down. I can cross out the P. There's no more parentheses or brackets. I don't see exponents, but I do see multiplication. 17 times 2 is 34. And there's my answer. Now I'm going to move on to the last and fourth example. I'm going to write PEMDAS. And once again, I start off by circling my inner set of parentheses. 4 plus 4 is 8. Left to right, I'm going to bring everything down. And then I can now try to eliminate the brackets by performing the operation. 3 times 8 is 24. Bring down the 5 and the plus sign. So I've eliminated parentheses and brackets. There's no exponents. I do not see multiplication, division, but I do see addition. So 5 plus 24 is 29. And we've completed the fourth example. Now, here is an example of how you would see it on the STAR test. This is actually an old STAR test question. So the question is, what is the value of this expression? So before I start solving, I'm going to write PEMDAS. And then I can use this to help me remember what the next step is or what the next rule is. So I see parentheses and I see brackets. But parentheses, we eliminate that first. We solve that because those are the inner set, what's inside. So 3 plus 7 is 10. And then from left to right, I'm going to bring everything down. Now I can focus on eliminating the brackets by performing the operation inside the brackets. 23 minus 10 is 13, and 13 times 19 would be my next step. I can cross out the P. There's no exponents, but there is multiplication. So I'm going to circle 13 times 19, and 13 times 19 is 247. I can cross out the M. So the answer would be answer choice D, 247. Now I would like for you to try it out. I have 3 examples, and if you notice the 3 examples are a little bit different. and I have already written PEMDAS for you. So when you're working this out on your separate sheet of paper, please don't forget to write PEMDAS. Now I would like you to pause the video and take time to work the 3 examples, and when you are finished, resume the video and check your answers. Okay, here are your answers. I hope you got the 3 examples correct. If you missed one, go back and rewatch the video, rework the examples, and hopefully the second time around you will get all 3 correct if you did it the first time. I hope that you enjoyed watching the video and that you understand order of operations better. Thanks for watching.